Hello grapplers and welcome to a new video. EVO just ended yesterday. It was a great tournament to watch, a great experience for us fighting game fans. However, there's the question of what happened to Zangief. And the sad reality is that Zangief didn't move on that far. In fact, I think only a handful of Zangief players were at EVO, and probably the one that was carrying the hope of Zangief players the most was Kobayan. He got eliminated by Endingwalker and then by Sahara, so that was the end of his run. We're gonna watch the fight between Endingwalker and Kobayan, just certain snippets of what happened, and then we're gonna fully watch the fight between Sahara and Kobayan, which was not streamed, so thank you so much, Stupendos, for just standing there and streaming that fight for us. I'm gonna put all the links below so you can watch these fights without me stopping or commenting. Standing light kick to whiff punish a crouching medium kick, and then he went for a DRC, crouching medium punch, and it didn't work. If you whiff punish someone with a standing light kick, usually it combos. However, if you delay it just a little bit more, like this, it will not. Very likely Kobayan thought that he was not close enough, so he wanted to delay as much as possible the crouching medium punch so it would connect with health stab. That's the fear that Kobayan felt probably in that specific situation. He was so pulled back. Now, to be fair, one thing that can help this issue, to mitigate these issues with punishing with crouching medium punch, because from here you can go into standing heavy punch, which allows Zangief to move forwards a little bit due to the momentum of the drive rush, so you can get this combo. The best thing to solve that issue is whip punishing with a different button, ideally sweep or crouching medium punch. They traded the throw. Forward heavy kick blocked, and Kobayan did knee, and from this knee he went for crouching light kick, but you see that Ryu is jumping back. If your knee is -1 or -2, they can escape. In this scenario, it's very hard to say what's better. You can go for a button that is very slow but will keep them down, like health stab. Slow for this scenario. After this crouching heavy kick, he got punished with crouching heavy kick. And here's the issue. And he went for crouching light punch. First of all, let's take a look at the hurtbox of crouching light punch. It's only active for 2 frames, and this is your hurtbox very extended forwards. This is normal for crouching light punches in this game. This is not unique to Zangief. And also you recover with an extended hurtbox, a lingering one. If you drive rush with this button, you have to be extremely careful about the opponent not pressing anything. Just the motion of starting your drive rush takes 11 frames, and you have to add the frames of the crouching light punch, 6 frames. Overall, you're drive rushing like this with 17 frames. And you have to take into account what happens if you delay the drive rush, so it is even more frames for the opponent to react. You cannot block when you're drive rushing. I think this is something that probably Endingwalker knew. Kobayan has a tendency to do this, which is +5. With this +5, your best option is maybe, if you're close enough, to go for health stab or crouching medium punch. You can also delay your SPD because if you just do it, you will whiff it. If you need to drive rush like this, your best options are drive rush standing medium punch and drive rush standing heavy punch. And I know those 2 buttons are slower, but they tend to pull the hurtbox of Zangief back. It is pretty notorious with standing medium punch and more notorious when you hold a little bit of the standing heavy punch like this. Those 2 are your best buttons for drive rush. You're in the corner, crouching light kick, crouching medium punch from Ryu, and you go for the standing heavy punch and you whiff it. You'll see that Endingwalker was backdashing way earlier, like he was going to backdash anyways. And this is something that happens very often to Zangief, and he gets punished. Standing heavy punch is a great button. It has range, it is safe. Here, -3. If you drive rush, you're gonna be +1. It is overall a great button. However, the standing heavy punch you want to get most of the time is the counter hit version or the punish counter, because you send them flying. If you get the regular one, you're gonna get a +3 with nothing you can do. So this is just a button to bother the opponent. It is pretty common due to how the game is being played right now for people to use backdash a lot against Zangief or just backwalk. And this button tends to whiff a lot because it doesn't have the crazy proximity box of solar plexus, for example. Now, there's no real answer to this situation because you just have to measure the right distance for your standing heavy punch. And ideally, you want to close the gap with, again, a drive shot standing heavy punch, which is more likely to not whiff compared to just the standing heavy punch. You see that Kobayan has around 5% health, and he went for this. a raw Siberian Express. Siberian Express is a 23 frame move. OD Siberian Express catches backdashes more commonly now. However, the best answer is just to press a button because this is a guaranteed counter hit. If you're low on health and you need to do the comeback, I think Siberian Express is one of the hardest reads you can go for. Since it is so punishable, I think you might as well just go for a random sweep and then drive rush compared to this. I get why he felt he needed to do this just to get Oki, but he was so low on health and there was not much he could do. I think this was one of those things that you just Hail Mary it and hope for the best. Drive rush, crouching light punch. Let's talk a little bit about the things you get out of the crouching light punch if you hit. Plus 10. If you're close, you can sometimes get this, but you'll see that it's kind of hard to get. You're using a light and you have to be super close, but if you are, you can get this. You can also somewhat mitigate that issue with crouching medium punch. But they have to be standing. If they're crouching, that thing tends to whiff. You can also get a standing medium kick or standing medium punch depending on range. There's not much you get out of the driver's crouching light punch. Some Zangief players recognize the counter hit and they go for the sweep, which I think is a generally good option. The absolute best one is a punish counter driver's crouching light punch because this is plus 14. That means you can get a headbutt. Getting that driver's crouching light punch is kinda hard. It's more commonly for you to get the counter hit. And near the end of the fight, you'll see that this happened. Crouching medium kick, DP, and ODDP. Kobayan went for the OD SPD, and then drive rush, boom, got hit. If you're over here and the opponent wakes up with a or uses a DP into super low 1 maybe. That is one option. The other option is just, well, back throw. You can do Russian suplex. You're sacrificing the corner over here, but you're getting a lot of dry meter back. Or you can do this one, which also gives a lot of dry meter back, but if you dash, you're gonna be -3. He went for the ODSPD, and then there's another problem here. If you do this and they wake up with a button, and you don't space your standing light kick correctly, you're gonna get hit. If you delay your drive rush, you're also getting hit, which was what happened to Kobayan. You need to do that standing light kick very, very early if you want to catch a button over here. Even if you get that drive rush standing light kick, it's only gonna get you a +4. So what usually happens in this situation is that the Zangief players drive rush again, and they get a combo like this, and that's it. If you go for the knee, you can get that one. However, again, if you don't space your knee correctly, you get hit. If they don't wake up with a button, your timing for your standing light kick and knee are different. If you do them like that, like in order for you to catch a button, you will whiff them. Same thing with the standing light kick. So in order to catch someone not pressing anything, you have to delay your knee. And here's where the problem comes, because you don't know if they're ever gonna press something. They might not do it. They might just wait there, and you're gonna be just guessing yourself on Oki. So what do you do in order to cover both things? Standing medium punch or crouching medium kick or standing medium kick. Something like this. You delay it a little bit, and you will connect to a button. However, that's just a poke. You're not getting anything out of this. It's just a poke. If I put Ryu to wake up with the button again, that's a poke. One that is kinda doable, but you have to be careful with this. It's a standing heavy punch. You have to hit someone in a very specific way. You can also do it. If they wake up with drive impact, you can react with your drive impact if you do standing medium punch, crouching medium kick, and standing heavy punch. He's going to get hit no matter what because he did the driver so close. He delayed it so much that any button at this point, any light, crouching light punch, standing light kick was going to connect. It was so delayed. And again, you cannot block. Going for the right call at the right moment is pretty difficult. So I would recommend you to watch your own replays and also watch the entirety of this set just to see the things you might be doing wrong and Kobayan did better, or things that Kobayan didn't do and you might do, just to learn from the mistakes of your own and also other people so you can be a better Zangief player. The final part of this video will be to just watch this. This is a horrible matchup. My time playing it was pretty much fun all the time, but whenever I fought a Zangief player I felt horrible because some of them beat me, I have to be honest, but overall pretty painful. That was a plus knee. Okay, the forward throw. That is a excellent bait to the standing K punch. You know that happens. You have Oki over here after the medium blitz. He's trying to poke with crouching heavy kick, standing medium kick, crouching medium kick, all the long buttons. And also a little bit of a standing medium punch. This should be the kill if it goes for super level. Yes, super level 1. A clean round, a lot of whiff punishment, a lot of counter hits. Kobayan is pressing a lot of buttons over here. To try to bait another DI or another standing heavy punch, didn't work. Crouching heavy kick. If you push someone to the corner, you're close. You're gonna be +1 if you dash. It's not horrible. Okay here, crouching light punches. Nice whiff punish. Again, the whiff punish with standing light kick. Very low damage for the amount of meter you're using. You know, I've been in love with crouching medium punch lately. What can I say? It's my tank now. DP. Interesting backdash. The Oki of Ed after a forward kill rush is not crazy. It's better to drive rush actually. You have Oki, another backdash. He's trying to bait the super level 2 plus frames. In fact, everything is plus at this point. A standing medium punch, he should kill into super level 3 after the heavy blitz. Ouch. Very, very painful. 1-0. He stopped. I think it was just a tap standing heavy punch. The standing medium punch just connected, obviously, because he was so close. I think he expected Sahara to either backdash or hold the flicker. That didn't happen. Plus frames, nice trade. If you do the driver's standing light punch with Ed, you're gonna be +3 on block. The standing medium punch is a trade combo. This is rough. You might think this is really good for Zangief. It is in the health department, but Bosch Dynamite doesn't give any kind of Oki to Zangief, so yeah, that is the driver's crouching light punch he was testing before. He was somewhat close to it, but not close enough, so he went for standing light kick. You can drivers again, but the damage after the second drivers is so lackluster because at that point you did a 2-hit combo from lights into a DRC. You need to be pretty sure you're gonna kill. Okay, SPD drivers. He went for a pretty late standing medium punch, I think. He wanted to get the full target combo. Nice. Light flicker, light flicker. That has a gap. You can DI that gap actually. It's pretty hard to see though. But the standing medium kick on block light flicker is not a true block string. DP for maximum damage. Okay, lights. Crouching medium punch. That is technically for Ed a crouching medium kick. It's 8 frames. A low. Another super level 3 clean round. Kobayan hasn't been able to find his footing. Again, this is a painful match. It's not easy to win this one. Likeru. Back throw from the +4. Driver's standing heavy punch. He was so far and he even held the standing heavy punch. Sahara just cleaning house at the moment. Standing medium kick. He's just pressing button. Okay, super level 1. I didn't remember this. Now this sucks. Because if your Oki is standing medium kick, if they press a button, if you dash after your super level 1, no drivers, dashing your +7. And that +7 gives you nada. Okay. Nice, drivers standing light punch into the DI immediately. Combo into heavy flicker for Oki. You have a safe jump, by the way. You're +42 for that sequence. Punish counter light SPD, drivers. The crouching medium kick I mentioned before. Nice standing heavy punch. Counter hit, I wonder what he pressed. Flicker. This is the flicker dance. You need to force out to come to you. Nice reset, light SPD. Nice standing light kick. You know what I feel about that standing light kick? Heavy DP. Sahara is looking a little bit rough at the moment. Forward heavy punch, double dash. You have Oki after that double dash. I think you're plus... I want to say +7. I need to check my frames. You also have Oki after the super level 1. Yeah. Clean combo. Super level 3 for Kobayan, super level 2 for Sahara. You know that what that means. You can dream if you want. Risky SPD, perfect parry. That was body splash, so he gets a really nasty combo. Body splash has more recovery frames. Don't ask me why, I have no clue. Here, you can go for a medium meaty flicker or just drive rush if you want. The drive rush is not real, but you can use it if the opponent is super scared. Kobayan has level 3, that Swift is gonna be punished. GG. As always, take care of yourselves, keep playing grapplers. If you really like this video, please subscribe, hydrate, and I hope I can see you in the next one. Bye bye.